The saucy's back. Fit of the year, or what? Fit of the year! Of the year!
So we're on the way to the Emirates. It's my first time that I'm going to watch the boys since the injury. So I'm very excited to see the boys. Obviously I've been injured before, so I know what it feels like, but after 2 months already without playing, I don't know how hard it's going to be. But I'm just very excited to be there, see the boys, and you know, hopefully I'm going to go into the dressing room for a bit and just feel that match day vibe that I love.
I thoroughly enjoyed watching the games at the Emirates. I love the atmosphere at the Emirates. Just being in and around the boys pre-match. You know, saw a few people in the stands from the staff. But just to feel like that match day atmosphere and everything that comes with it was really exciting. You know, it's obviously way more chilled out, the build up to it, but I still get really nervous whether I'm playing on the bench or whether I'm in the stands. You know, I want my team to win, I want my teammates to do well. So like every other Arsenal fan, there is nerves in me. I do feel pressure before the game because of, you know, to put the Arsenal shirt on already is pressure. You know, you're representing one of the biggest clubs in the world. The fan reactions do play a part in your mental state, but I think it's sometimes probably more subconscious, you know, because I feel like when I play, I'm focused on the game, and you do hear the noise around it, and it's true that, you know, when the fans are cheering, it does lift you up, and their support, even though when I was on the pitch, somehow I felt when they were cheering for Arsenal, they were also cheering for me, that I was in the stands, you know, I still felt a part of my team even though I wasn't playing. So it's a beautiful stadium, it's a beautiful atmosphere, and it was also a chance for me to interact with fans and you know, feel like the old Hector Bellerin again. I do always remember this one match. It was 2012 when Thierry Henry came back on loan and we played Leeds, I think in the FA Cup, 0-0, and he scored.
Shamak, who's coming off to allow Henry to make this emotional return to Arsenal.
And I remember I was just sitting behind the away bench where all the youth team players and under 21s we used to sit. And I just remember the stadium scream, you know, when he received that ball.
The ball for Henry. Thierry Henry! Welcome back home!
Everyone was already standing up. It was like everyone knew that he had to score. You know, as a fan watching the game, tied to like how electric and how crazy that moment, that was like a historic moment. You know, it was one of my favorite experiences at the Emirates. when I saw my teammates just like going to the challenge, 50-50s, etc. It was a bit scary, you know, to know that I had to do that again. And for a while, everything was so brutal and so aggressive, you know. I felt like I just had to be so careful with my knee, even if it was just walking around the house or, you know, going somewhere or even doing rehab. And it was frustrating because you want to help, you want to be there, you want to play. When the team's not doing well, you want to, like, you know, do something that can change the game, and you can't, you're in the stands.
I've been at Arsenal for 5 years. When I first signed, Hector was obviously established there and playing, so he sort of helped me settle down, took me under his wing, and we've played many games together now with him as my partner at right back. Definitely a leader in the club, and anything he says at half time I'll always listen to, and he'll never say something to dig someone out. He'll always be constructive to help someone, and me and him will discuss. If I have a different opinion, he's open to listening to that. To lose him, it really sort of maybe did weaken that right hand side, and we were sort of trying to cover an empty space.
You're about 20 years early for our Legends interview.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. I've only ever seen Legends.
Yeah, nice. All right, we'll see this. Joining us right now, Arsenal defender Hector Bellerin. Hector, great to see you pitchside here at Emirates Stadium. Thanks for joining us tonight. How's your recovery going, and what can we expect from you in the not too distant future?
So the recovery is going really well. I started my rehab in Barcelona. They have very good surgeons out there, so I got to spend time with the family as well. But I couldn't wait to be back with the boys. I'm very happy now to be back at the training ground, get on with the routine, and hopefully be back soon.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you back on the Arsenal pitch. Thanks so much for sparing the time to join us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Hector Bellerin. Thank you, Hec. Cheers. Thank you.
It did remind me of how beautiful it is and how exciting it is to be able to play in front of your home crowd, and how electric the atmosphere is.
It was very good. We won 2-0, got the W, so very happy for that. It was a great game, great football towards the end, especially second half. And no, it was a great game because it was an Arsenal for everyone game. I was, you know, a bit frustrated. Obviously, you can't be on the pitch, and sometimes, you know, you just want to be out there kicking the ball. But I'm very happy for the boys. It was a very important win. We really needed it, and that's what we got. So time to go home.
I was definitely more motivated for me to feel the shouts and screams of the fans and their support. It motivated me to be back, and you know, what I was truly missing, because obviously you're watching from home but the atmosphere is so different. Yeah, it really pushed me to try and be back as quick as possible. The good thing about how I have approached my life, football is my passion, football is my life, and football affects in the greatest way how I feel. But I've been able to find other passions or hobbies that do help me. I've got other things in which I can just like immerse in and would give me joy and, you know, make me feel good, make me feel like I'm getting better at something.
Me and Hector, we were close beforehand, and I think it did make us a bit closer because I was 4 weeks post-injury when he did his. Doing my rehab and then I'm coming home doing nothing. I need something to sort of stimulate your mind, do something a bit different. And I know Hector, with creativity, with his design, his photography, goes with everything that he does off the pitch. He's breaking the mould of like a typical footballer.
You could always see he had that creative side to him, and he liked fashion, photography, he likes drawing. He was always in all that kind of stuff, and lets him disconnect a bit and get into his own like peaceful world. So I think it's something that does a lot of good for Hector.
I feel that I've been trying to just do new things, things that I feel I would like, or taking different interests since I was very young. So I was like 20, 21. So hopefully by the time that, you know, I have to put a stop to playing football, then I'll be better at those other things, or I could choose from a wider range than people that when they finish football, it's either they go into coaching or they don't know what else to do. I kind of got into photography. One day, found this little point and shoot, and then I just started taking pictures with it. I really found it intriguing, and I really got into shooting a manual and just like learning how to really take pictures rather than just like point at something and press a button. When I carried my camera outside, which was almost all the time, and I was going for a walk, it made me look at places that otherwise I wouldn't notice, you know, because you'll be on your phone or because you'll be in your own thoughts. Every time I carried that camera, I was seeing, you know, different things that were always there, and I always would walk past, but I would never see. So I really liked the fact that it just made me be more present, and it made me just more conscious of the space around me. So it was kind of like therapeutic in that way. Like after rehab, I didn't have much more to do than that. So yeah, even since the injury, which has been almost 2 years, is something that I still do today.
When Hector retires, I think he'll be busier than he already is now. So, yeah. But that's who Hector is. He's a guy that likes to innovate, to do new stuff, to learn. And I think when he's finished with football, he'll continue to do that.
My family is a family, basically have been working in the clothing industry. My grandma had a little factory with my granddad and her best friend. My mum is a graduate in fashion in Spain, and both of them, they made clothes their whole life. And I was just in and around that environment. Coming to London, one of the things that struck me the most was the difference in what people wore in the street. You know, different cultures and different styles, and everyone just didn't really care. Everyone just felt comfortable in their own. That kind of gave me the freedom or the push for me to kind of do the same, because I felt at times I wanted to dress differently than the people around me, but I just felt like somehow scared to do so, or something was holding me back. And then London kind of gave me that freedom. I always try to be as honest and as transparent and show myself as much as I can in the way I truly am. Football fans sometimes find something to blame on what was happening. You know, we blame the young guy, we blame the weird one, you know, with the long hair, the one that dresses differently, and you know, he's not focusing on football because he's too focused on social media or like on what he's wearing. It's not about just being different, it's about being yourself. If you're yourself, you're gonna be different, because there's no one that's exactly like you. But I feel like sometimes we're just too scared to do that. We want to fit in, we want to be a part of a group, or we want to be a part of a scene, or you know, we don't want to be judged, and we get so scared about those outside pressures that we forget what we truly are and what we truly like. And the less you listen to that, and the more you listen to yourself and what makes you happy, the more happy internally you're going to be. And the people who truly love you, the people who care about you, they're not going to care about what you wear or about, you know, what hair you have. They're just going to be there for you regardless. I couldn't sit at home and just watch TV, even if I wanted to. I enjoy those processes, you know, processes especially that require your focus and require you to be immersed in the experience if you want to be good at it. So whether that was drawing or taking pictures, or like even through my injury, the time that I couldn't move from the sofa, I was building Legos the whole time. So, you know, there was always something to do, because rehab at times, it got very monotone and it got very boring. It was still hard and it was still a lot of hard work, but during 3-4 weeks you would have to do the same stuff again and again and again and again until you could go into the next step. So when it got hard in those moments, then I knew I could go home and work in this project that I was so meaningful. One project which took me away from the stresses of rehab was designing Arsenal's club suits with my good friend Guillermo. And yeah, he's a designer of his own fashion brand called 424 in LA. I think I truly immersed myself in that project, and with the help of Guillermo, we truly made something beautiful. You know, he's someone that I consider my friend, and you know, we came so close through the project, and we used to speak every day. We met up in LA, we met up in Milan. We were able to design together, to look at fabrics together, at fits, at everything. And if I would have been training my normal schedule, I wouldn't have had the chance to do that.
You love the fact, because it's Hector, you love it because it's different and how he pulls it off. Like some of the things he wears, I couldn't get away with personally, but he wears it and you just think, yeah, Hector looks good. Same old, same usual thing, he always looks good. Hector is more than happy to sit and talk about fashion for hours with you if you wanted to. So yeah, there's his lifestyle off the pitch, obviously catches people's eyes and he's very interesting, and I'm all for it. Whatever makes him happy is brilliant.
Come on, I'm ready.
He just asked me, he was like, don't you want to take over the women's shoot as a creative director? And I said, well, I've never done that before, but I'll be happy to do that. And it was amazing because obviously the girls were great as well. They did help me a lot. You know, I told them the truth, like, yo, this is my first time, so I'm just gonna try and do my best. Yeah, it's something that you know, that I'll hopefully be able to do again in the future, because I do enjoy being able to put my thoughts into paper, into a campaign like that. When football was taken away from me, I still had these other things that I could default to and would bring me joy, you know, be happy with just having that. This injury happens and I look back and I had never actually cherished my achievements. I never really enjoyed them or never put them into perspective of what they actually meant.
He's recognised that he's got that platform as a footballer, and he's taken that in his stride, and he uses that for good, and that's what social media and platforms like that should be for good. That I think everyone's really proud of. Everyone that knows him a bit closely is proud of. That's just Hector though. It's been him like since day one. Even when there was no social media involved and stuff, he was always that person to like explore the things he was passionate about.
I think it's important to understand yourself, know what your role is in life, in this world. And yeah, I think the injury gave me that time to actually look back and, you know, and just kind of give me a pat on the back and be like, you know, this is a difficult time, you know, a massive obstacle, but you've also done really good things at a young age. And I felt so lucky and felt so grateful that all the experiences in my life led to where I am today. Of everything that I had gone through, that somehow just happened as a movie that, you know, lasted like 30 seconds, and it actually was like 4 years, and that didn't give me time to appreciate when times were good or when times were bad. And I could finally do that when I had this time.